What's up, guys? This is Ray. Welcome to Asian Feminist, and today we'll be talking about the 2015 Japanese movie Galaxy Turnpike, directed by Mitani Koki, who's one of my favorite directors working at the moment, and it stars Katori, Shingo, and Ayase, Haruka. And I watched Galaxy Turnpike when it first came out in the movie theaters, for the reason why I just said I love Mitani Koki movies. If you've ever seen The Magic Hour or Ghost of a Chance, I've always thought that Mitani Koki does well with ensemble movies and also in crafting comedic tales. And that's the kind of vibe I got from watching the trailer of Galaxy Turnpike. And so the story takes place way into the future, and it stars Katori Shingo, as I said. He stars as this guy named Noah who runs this hamburger shop, this hamburger diner by the name of San 33. He runs it with his wife Noah, played by Ayase Haruka. And it's pretty slow. It's been around for a while, a few centuries. And when it was first made, the Galaxy Turnpike, when it was first made, it was bustling, it was busy. But now nobody really uses it. It's kind of the Galaxy Turnpike. What it is this kind of interstellar highway that connects the Earth to this space colony. Forgot exactly where, but traveling the distance between the Earth and the space colony were many people, not just from Earth but also from other planets. So nowadays business is slow. Noah is thinking about returning to Earth, and he doesn't really tell his wife Noah, but while he just basically carries on this one particular day as usual, his restaurant is inhabited by a ragtag of all sorts of different characters whom we all get to know and who we all get to see interact with each other at the very end. So the very first thing I thought about when I first watched the trailer and also the movie, it very felt like like live action Jetsons. You remember the Jetsons, the old show from back in the day, old American cartoon about an Earthling family, and it takes place in the very far future, and they all travel in like these flying cars or little spaceships, and everyone lives in the sky. It kind of reminded me of that, the kind of vibe that the character design had, the different designs for the aliens, or at least the non-Earthling characters which inhabit the story. And after watching it, I definitely still had that vibe. It felt like a live-action Jetsons of sorts, or like a live-action cartoon. Not even a live-action anime, but a live-action cartoon, of the Western kind, I gotta say. But, diving deeper, as far as the goods are concerned, I enjoyed the performances of each of the characters. I mean, the thing with Mitani Koki, he always has a lot of big names in his cast. And here, obviously, the cast is led by Katori Shingo, who is big as a member of former boy band SMAP. And then we have Ayase Haruka, who's kind of like, I don't know, she doesn't appeal much to me, but I know she has that appeal. It's kind of like the cute darling of sorts, and she plays it up in this movie. But in addition to those two characters, we get a whole bunch of characters I said earlier who may be played by actors that you guys may know. I mean, Oguri Shun is one of them, and you're gonna see a kind of funny appearance by TM Revolution. TM Revolution, he's like one of the mega pop stars of Japan. If you don't recognize him at first, you'll definitely know his voice. If you ever heard the song Hot Limit, it was a huge song, a huge J-pop song back in the day. But he plays a character who Katori Shingo wants nothing to do with. He's like this slimy alien, but his race is known to have very strong singing voices. It's kind of alluding to something. It's just a fun kind of thing because it's TM Revolution. He's here's a pop star whose voice can almost be considered a national treasure in J-pop. But going back, all the characters and the performances are just absolutely fun to watch. The way they interact with each other, everyone just has a lot of chemistry. It's just fun, wacky, and absurd. I gotta say absurd. Some of these characters, it's just so wacky. Nothing really makes sense here, but that's the fun part of it. This is a very fun and lighthearted movie. But granted, while I enjoyed the comedy that's in this movie, this isn't side-splitting comedy. This isn't the kind of comedy that you would just start holding your gut because you're laughing so hard. But rather, it's just fun and lighthearted, as I said, lighthearted. It's comedy that'll put a smile on your face. It might make you giggle a little bit, but it won't make you bellow in laughter. But that's all the fun. This movie's just full with absurd characters, absurd situations, and each of the characters, they each have their own side story going on. Like, you have one guy who's trying to get laid, trying to order some alien prostitutes. You got a guy who's trying to confess his secret superhero identity to a superior officer. And you even have a dude who's just trying to get at Ayase Haruka's character, just trying to get at her. They're all in this restaurant for their own reasons. And with that being said, something I have to say about when it comes to the negatives is that everything is extremely scattered. I mean, it's one to have an ensemble cast. It's another to have like a variety of fun characters in one story. But then one of the things where this movie just comes short on is the way the narrative is told. Katori Shingo and Ayase Haruka are the main characters, but they spend so much time in each of these other characters' storylines that it kind of takes away from what the main point of the movie is. I don't think really there was even a main point. They kind of hint towards maybe the restaurant might be in danger of closing because no one uses the Galaxy Turnpike anymore, but it kind of just sidetracks into all these different tangents. Granted, they're fun and entertaining, but when it comes to the overall feeling of how the movie is put together, it's definitely very scattered, and it's very easy to get sidetracked. And nothing really intersects. Like none of the stories intersect really well until the very end. So you're kind of wondering, for the duration of the movie, how are these stories going to relate to each other? Is there really a unifying point? You don't really get that until the very end. Another negative I have to say is that, the variety of aliens. There is a variety of characters, as I said, and each one, pretty much almost everyone, is an alien of sorts. I think the main two are actually from Earth. There might be another human present in the cast, but for the most part, everyone is from a different planet, which is fine. However, I would have loved to see like more alien-looking aliens, more extraterrestrial-looking extraterrestrials. Instead, everyone was more humanoid. You can see a human face on each of these characters. They might be enhanced a little bit with prosthetics and wigs and whatnot, or just even special abilities, but for the most part, they're very humanoid in appearances. And when you get to the ending credits, you get kind of a fun slideshow of different aliens, of what males and female versions of those alien species look like. It would have been fun to actually have some of these very monstrous-looking aliens inhabit the restaurant, but unfortunately we don't get that. But overall, what do I have to say about Galaxy Turnpike? It's fine. I think it's not my most favorite Mitani Koki movie. My favorite Mitani Koki movie has to go to Ghost of a Chance. If you haven't seen that movie, check it out. It's a lot of fun. And this movie also is a lot of fun. But as I said, you have a fun variety of characters, all with their kind of scattered story arcs, and the storytelling gets very cluttered. But if you can get past that, you just watch this movie as kind of like this ensemble of just wacky, goofy characters that look like they jumped out straight out of an old American cartoon, then I think you can have fun with this too. And while this movie is funny, has its moments, there are many of these kind of funny moments, there's nothing really that hits hard for me. So there's nothing really that kind of impacted me like, oh man, this is an excellent scene, this is great. And when there is a scene that seems like it would be that kind of scene, it kind of drops off kind of almost as quickly as it's introduced. But admittedly, I did find myself smiling because, despite the scattered storytelling, this movie had a lot of charm. This movie just is meant to just put a smile on your face. This is meant to be one of those feel-good movies. And, I especially love the scene leading up to the end credits. I don't want to say what it is. It just put a smile on my face. But, that being said, I would half recommend this movie. There are other better Mitani Koki movies to check out. This isn't one of his better movies, but it's okay to be a part of his filmography, I guess. But yes, those are my thoughts on Galaxy Turnpike. What do you guys think? What kind of questions you guys have? Leave me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you really dig my content, please know you can support Asian Films via Patreon from as little as $1. And yeah, that's about it for me, guys. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and hope to catch you all again in the next video. Take it easy.